Arsenal vs Atalanta result isn't quite as bad as I'm seeing a lot of people make it out to be. Now, of course, there's some frustration that we're going to speak on, but there is definitely some interesting opinion and discussion about certain people, certain moments in this game that I definitely think we can have some discussion on. Before we get into it though, just very quickly, if you could, just hit like on this video. So look, I just want to start this video by asking you one quick question. Who was your man of the match in that game yesterday versus Atalanta? Let me know in the comments section. I think it's going to be unanimous. But first of all, just let me know. So, look, I'm just going to very quickly give you my thoughts on the game. It's not that bad a result. A draw away from home in the Champions League can never be considered an awful result. Like I said, we're going to touch on some of the performances, the lack of creativity, some moments in the game that I just thought was horrible. But if you draw every single game away in the Champions League, then that's basically Champions League winning form. You can win the Champions League if you don't lose away from home. Like, it's that simple. I understand there's going to be better teams for Arsenal to play, but I want to put a positive spin on this. Of course, there's negatives we're going to touch on. And like I said, there's definitely some interesting points that I'm seeing be put out there. So what I want to do is first have a discussion about Kai Havertz, because it's strange to me that I kind of see Kai Havertz now as one of the most important players of this Arsenal squad. If someone kind of told me that I would look at Kai Havertz in a way that would kind of make me think he's the most important player in this team, I'd be thinking people are crazy. But it's time that we start to have that discussion. And I'm going to tell you why. Let me know your thoughts on it. How important is Kai Havertz to this team? Are you appreciating Kai Havertz just as much as I am? Or do you see things a slightly different way? Let me know. Because people are always going to have a different opinion on the game, on other matters. And that's why a platform like this is great. Because just because I'm telling you on camera doesn't mean I'm right. I'm not too big-headed enough to say, look, I'm giving you this opinion and this opinion's right. No, I've been wrong many a times and I will continue to be wrong in the future. Now, it doesn't happen often, and I know that's hard to believe, but I just want to get everyone's opinion on the game and on Kai Havertz, because I do think he's one of the most important players. Like, you just look at how he's been performing up front, and then we get Odegaard injured and he's asked to kind of drop more centrally. And I don't know if it's just me seeing it this way, but he was probably our best central. Like, he was incredible. Not only in an attacking sense, and we did lack creativity in an attacking sense. And Kai Havertz, if he wasn't playing this game, I can guarantee you we would have struggled even more. Because the amount of times he was holding the ball up, the amount of times he was chasing down, the amount of times he was causing a nuisance of himself, you can tell that Kai Havertz is playing with a confidence that I've almost never seen in him. Like, he's throwing his weight around. Like, Kai Havertz has never been a player who's, like, aggressive, who don't let things slide, who won't let the man get the better of him. Like, he's throwing his weight around, blocking people, being, like I said, just being aggressive. To see this side of Kai Havertz is incredible, because, like I said, with the absence of Martin Odegaard, we needed someone to step into that midfield role, and Kai Havertz was brilliant. He was probably my second best performer in this game. Like I said, if you saw it wrong, let me know. If you saw it differently, let me know. But for me, Kai Havertz was brilliant. Now, did we lack in a creative sense as a team? Yes, it was plain to see. Now, the positives are defensively. We are impeccable. We are so good defensively that I almost never feel in danger. There was no part of that game where I thought Atalanta were going to score. And people might say, well, if you just play like that all the time, it's negative. And it might be. But you always, like, just don't lose the game. If you're lacking creativity up front, if things aren't quite working for you in an attacking sense, the most important thing in the world is just don't lose the game. Don't let them score. Don't give them an opportunity. And with this Arsenal back line, I never felt in danger. For the first 30 minutes of that game, I just thought, this is brilliant. I'm going to give you, like, how I made my notes and go through the notes and give you my opinion and try and get your guys' opinions at the same time. So I make little notes through the game so I can kind of remember segments of the game and to have some talking points, okay? So first of all, early on, the first note I've got is Saliba makes that early tackle against Lookman. Lookman looked a very dangerous player, by the way. Someone is going to have a very good player on their hands when they snap up Lookman. I think he will be an ideal candidate for the Premier League. I'm sure so many clubs have got their eye on him, and he does look so tricky. His technique is way better than I imagined. Like, I knew he was quick. I knew he could score. Like, his goals in the Europa League final, like that hat-trick, all three of them goals were sublime. but the technical ability he has. But not just that, his movement as well, like the way he's able to read the game. I think he's a high-level player. I wouldn't mind him at Arsenal, if I'm being honest. I think he's a very, very good player. So for Saliba to get that early tackle in after about, 8 minutes, something like that, just to let him know, look, you're coming up against a proper defence now. And that not only gave Saliba the confidence, but it kind of it probably made Lookman think, right, this ain't going to be an easy night. I need to try and wriggle my way past these defenders. It's just giving him more things to think about. And just quickly on the back line, I think we saw in last season's Champions League, the Arsenal back line was shaky. If you remember last season in the Premier League, we was incredible. And then as soon as it comes to the Champions League, there seemed to be like a switch in the momentum, a shift in the mentality, because it was sloppy, loads of stray passes, loads of nerves on display out there. And I think maybe they used that as an opportunity to grow last season, because I kind of was going into this game having that in the back of my mind, wondering if these players or these defenders will revert back to type that they did last season and just seem shaky out there on the pitch, not as confident in their own ability, and we didn't see any of that. The back line was incredible. I've seen some people digging out Ben White again, or not necessarily digging him out, but saying he had a poor performance. I don't see it that way. I think he was better than he was against Tottenham. Was he at 100%? Probably not, but he was good enough on the night to keep whoever he needed to keep quiet, and that is all you can ask for of Ben White. And then we had the Saka free kick. It was actually quite a clever free kick. You don't see that many times. And I'm trying to kind of think when we last had a great free kick taker. When did Arsenal, remind me in the comment section, please, when was the last time Arsenal had like a reliable free kick taker, like a dependable player that you can count on to get you maybe 4 or 5 goals each season from a free kick? I would love for Saka to be that guy. And when he took that free kick, I thought it was clever because he didn't go up and over the wall. He went low and kind of done his shot that he's known for. You know, he's known for going low, wide into the corner, curling it round, and he kind of tried to do that from the free kick. Very, very clever. The keeper's got his fingers to it in the end, but I just thought that was an interesting free kick by Saka. I thought that was good. Something we noticed with Raya as well. Again, loads of long balls. We saw it in the last game. We know how high Spurs pushed up the pitch, so he was playing the long balls in behind to try and negate that press. And I think we saw that with Atalanta. If you see their man marking, they are so high up the pitch and their man marking is very good. They've been with their coach Gasperini for like 9 years, so they've had plenty of time to work on what he wants to defensively or as their shape. So we saw Atalanta were a very well-structured team, and Raya again was playing loads of long balls over the top, way more than you would usually see in a Premier League game. And I expect after this Man City game, we're probably going to see a lot more playing out from the back. But just the last 2 games have dictated that you can't really afford to do that. So, again, it's just something I noticed. A lot of long balls again from David Raya. And again, I made another note. 30 minutes, brilliant. After half an hour, we were so comfortable. I don't even think Atalanta had any dangerous attacks, had any amount of possession that made me think, wow, we're going to be in trouble here. And then it kind of shifted after that, didn't it? I thought Jesus was sloppy. Kept losing the ball. Now, I'm not going to sit on this channel and dig out Gabriel Jesus and moan about how poor he was, but you could tell he's just coming back from injury. We need Jesus to perform at a higher level than he did yesterday. That's not me being negative. That's just me calling something as I see it. If I wasn't performing in any kind of area, I wouldn't care if people say to me, do you know what, you're probably not at the level you need to be at. And that's just the way that I saw this Gabriel Jesus performance. I think he can be a very good player in the Champions League. It's usually a competition that he thrives in. He likes playing in the Champions League. So I think going forward, I would like to see more from Gabriel Jesus. Rice was so good defensively. How good was it to see Declan Rice back on the pitch? Look, Jorginho and Partey in the last game performed at a level good enough to get a result. But we saw, not only in this game, the last game as well, they're probably not the players long term. We probably need to have a bit of a shake-up, and Declan Rice coming back just shows you what you're missing. It's not just the way he wins the ball back, the way he tracks his runners, but just the way he cuts the passing lane, like the stuff you don't necessarily pick up for on camera because he's not actually doing an action. Like, he's not tackling, he's not winning the ball, but he's just cutting passing lanes. He's so good at reading the game and just knowing where to be, and there's something great about that with Declan Rice, so I enjoyed watching that. And early on, I definitely noticed more variety in our build-up play. With Martin Odegaard out, I think we definitely saw both areas of the pitch utilised slightly more than usual. Now, in terms of creativity, we was lacking. I'm not going to sit on this video today and pretend to anyone that creativity-wise we was brilliant. We had some good stuff going on. But I just saw more variety. Whereas Odegaard would usually have the play more focused around that right-hand side of the pitch, I think we did see Martinelli used. I think we did see Havertz floating into that left-hand side area and just using the full length of the pitch. Now, when Odegaard's back, I expect it to shift to that right-hand side again because most of our play, or a lot of our play, goes through Martin Odegaard. And when you miss him for a game, you do see just how much creativity Martin Odegaard influences in this Arsenal team, because without him in this game, we definitely saw a drop in terms of Arsenal's creativity. Now, there might be some other reasons as well, but Martin Odegaard is an absolute massive reason as to why our creativity was lacking in this game. But I saw more variation. We wasn't just using the right-hand side. We was using the left and right-hand side as well. Partey, again, we can upgrade that position. Look, Thomas Partey can be a good player, but I need a player who's going to be better than just have one great game and then 6 mediocre games and then a couple of good games and then 1 or 2 great games and then 7 average. Like, we need to have an upgrade in that position, and I'm sure that's something this Arsenal board, Edu, Arteta, will be focusing on for the next transfer window. I hope so anyway. If we can make a deal in January to bring in a new number 6, another CDM, I would be targeting that for sure, because I think it's an area of the pitch that we probably are weaker in. If Declan Rice is going to be our number 8, I think we definitely need an upgrade to that number 6 position. Like I said, Partey and Jorginho can and will do a job in certain games, but it's definitely an area that I look at and I think, look, if we want to take the step to that next level, we probably do need a more consistent performer, a younger player, someone with more legs, someone who just seems to be able to concentrate for longer periods in the game. There was moments in that game where Partey would make a decision, make a pass, make a run and drag himself out of position where I was kind of like, we wouldn't have saw that a couple of seasons ago with Thomas Partey. So that's something that not necessarily concerned me, but just something I definitely had the thought process of, is we can upgrade that position, and I hope we do in the near future. And then Partey give away the penalty, and I just knew he would be getting slated online, because it was, if I'm being honest, the contact obviously started outside the area. So if you are with my Arsenal hat on, I probably can say it probably should have been a free kick, not a penalty. If that was against Arsenal, I 100% would have wanted a penalty. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it. Did you think that was a penalty? If I'm being honest, I probably did. I've seen some opinion out there of people saying it was no way a penalty because the contact was initiated outside the box. And if that's your thought process, then I understand it. But just let me know in the comment section whether you thought that was a penalty. If I'm being honest, when they stepped up to take the penalty, I thought, this is a goal. We're 1-0 behind. We're going to be chasing the game. We're going to have to open up. Gaps are going to be created. And that just allows someone like Lookman to expose those gaps that Arsenal are going to be leaving. But David Raya with an absolutely... I wish I was intelligent enough, or I wish I had the ability to communicate just how spectacular that double save was. And some people will say the striker could have done better, should have done better. No, he shouldn't have. 99% of the times the header goes in, so he doesn't have to do better. He's done exactly what he needed to do to score the goal 99% of the time. It was just unfortunate that David Raya, for him anyway, that David Raya on the night pulled out an world-class save. You don't see that save too often. Like, so many people have been saying, like people in football as well, who see goalkeepers in training, goalkeepers in matches week in, week out, saying, this is the best save I've ever seen. That should tell you just how special this save from David Raya was. It was absolutely sublime. Incredible save. I wish, like I said, I wish I could do the save justice with just words, but you can't. You just have to see it and appreciate the art, the hard work, the dedication that takes to know your craft. Like, it was just incredible. What a save by David Raya. And it just kept us in the game. Like, it gave us hope. All you can ask for in a goalkeeper is just, please give me some moments in a game where maybe we're not performing to our best level. Just give us hope. Give us something. Give us a moment where you can change it for us. Like, save us. And that's exactly what David Raya done in that moment. It was incredible. And then we had Jorginho and Trossard come on. And these were absolutely the right subs. Because like I said, Partey was clearly struggling. And Gabriel Jesus was clearly struggling. Trossard came on and done okay. Jorginho as well came on and done okay. I'm seeing a lot of people big up Jorginho's performance and say he was incredible. If I'm being honest, I probably draw back from that slightly. I say he was okay. I think he gave the ball away at the end. Then that could have been a dangerous chance for Atalanta. Like, a lot of people, when Jorginho plays, I'm not sure, but it's like I see it slightly differently. Look, I like Jorginho as a player. I don't think he's the answer. I see so many people saying we need to start Jorginho every game, and I'm just not there. And like I said, I'm okay with being wrong if that's what it is, but I just don't see Jorginho as the answer. I thought he'd come on and done okay. I thought he gave the ball away, and on another day, that could have cost us a goal. So Jorginho, okay. The Martinelli chance, I mean, he should have done better. Martinelli absolutely should have done better with that chance. I was kind of, when he went through, I was thinking, yes, this is going to be the moment where Martinelli scores and gains some confidence. We know Martinelli needs some confidence. I saw a stat, it was something like 18 goals without Martinelli scoring. There's questions that inevitably are going to be asked of Gabriel Martinelli now, because you can't go that long in an Arsenal team where we create so many chances and not score. Like, there comes a time where you have to say, is this just confidence or is there something else missing? It's hard to accept because 2 seasons ago, Gabriel Martinelli was incredible. I have people in the comment section saying, you're always defending Martinelli too much. I can't defend him for that chance. He should have scored it. Let me know your thoughts on Gabriel Martinelli. What is going wrong for him? Is it the fact that he's got someone else behind him, like fighting for his place? Can he not deal with that? Can he not deal with the pressure? Is he just overrated? I don't know. Like, I'm going to have a think and maybe do a video on Martinelli, because I don't know what's wrong with him at the minute. I always keep hoping, and that's all it is with Gabriel Martinelli at the minute. Like, I'm just hoping he comes good. I'm not even sure he's going to come good. But I hope Gabriel Martinelli comes good, because I think he can be such a good player. He does have attributes that are so good, but at times I look at him when he's playing and I think, your legs are moving too fast for your head. Like, you're not even balanced. Come on, like, frustrating. Martinelli, and then we saw Sterling come on, and I don't think Sterling's appearance was that great. Like, I'm not going to judge him on a cameo appearance for the second time. Like, he's had 2 sub appearances. The thing I did see in this game was Sterling kind of focusing on tracking back more and kind of cutting out them passing lanes and going to win the ball, which is something we kind of had the discussion on after last game, is something he needs to improve on. And I think we saw that at least in this game. But Martinelli, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, let me know your thoughts on it, because I think he needs to improve, if I'm being honest. And then we had Saliba. He started the game with a big tackle, and he'd done that crazy tackle in the 86th minute as well to kind of see the game out. Like, that could have been a goal. Saliba makes the tackle. How many times have we seen Saliba make that tackle? But I think it's also important to give Gabriel some props, because how many times is Gabriel up in the air winning headers? And it's kind of not spoken about in the same way that people pinpoint like a Saliba moment. I think if there's a Saliba and a Gabriel moment, I think Saliba gets more credit, more headlines, more people talking about it. But I think it's important to recognise that Gabriel is just as important in this back two. I thought the back line on a whole was great. Yuri and Timber, again, a brilliant performance. I was kind of surprised that he started. After playing the full 90 minutes against Tottenham, I thought for sure he was going to be rested, but Mikel Arteta decided to play him. Bukayo Saka as well, I thought that was a dead cert. It didn't even come into my thinking that Bukayo Saka would start. I guess the good thing is it definitely was just cramp. Like, there was nothing more to it. With Bukayo Saka's injury, it was just cramp, and he was obviously able to play the game. How did Saka play? I thought Saka was all right. Look, we can't depend on Bukayo Saka every single game to get us out of trouble. He's not going to create an assist. He's not going to score in every single game. We've seen him do that in 95% of matches this season, and yesterday he just wasn't able to do it. That's okay. And in moments like that, that is when you need other players to step up and take the mantle and say, right, look, Saka does it every other game. Let me just add 1 assist. Let me chip in with a goal. But we wasn't able to do it. Like I said, defensively, incredible. I couldn't ask for any more. In terms of creativity, we did lack. We missed Odegaard. We didn't take our chances in the forward areas. The wingers probably weren't as effective as I would like it to be. Did Arsenal play slightly negative? Yeah. Did Arsenal get the result I wanted? Maybe. Like, a draw's okay. I wouldn't have taken it before the game. Like, I think Arsenal should be looking to go to these European teams away from home and get the win. If I'm being honest, I think we're more than a good enough side to do that. But it's not the worst result in the world. Like I said, if you win every single away Champions League fixtures, you're going to set yourself up to be in a good position to go on and win the tournament. And that's kind of the way I feel about it. Home games, I think we have to win. We got PSG coming up. I would like us to win that game. We got Man City coming up in the Premier League. I would like us to win that game. Now, out of all those games, if you offered me one draw, I would take as the Man City game. We're going to do a breakdown on the Man City game tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed for that. And like I said, let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know your thoughts on the talking points, the main ones, the Partey penalty, the David Raya save, the Saliba tackle, the performance from Havertz, which I might have overstated slightly, but I just thought it's important to recognise the contribution that Kai Havertz makes to this team now, because I think he's absolutely incredible. One of the first names on the team sheet for me. And I just can't believe I'm saying that, because 6-8 months ago, I would have been like, Kai Havertz, come on. Like, we need someone better than that. And now I think he's almost one of our most important players. Let me know your thoughts on it. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could just do me a favour. I like doing these videos. They're absolutely free to you guys. But all I ask is, if you could, just hit like and subscribe. And I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.